My name is Dawn Robles, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the Phoenix metro area. So sending a card and flowers is a thoughtful way to show someone you care, right? That's what I thought. But what's even better with this card that I am going to show you today is that you can send them flowers that keep on blooming. So I created this unique shaker card, and inside this shaker card are actually flower seeds. Now, the best part about this is your recipient does not have to tear open the card to get those flower seeds out. I've created an envelope where all they need to do is open the card, pull this out, and the seeds come right on out. So I'm going to show you how to make this today. I really hope that you guys enjoy it. I will give you some little housekeeping. Here is, we are in the final weeks of celebration. So celebration will end the last day of February. I think it's the 28th this year, right? And we have, so for every $50 order you purchase, you'll get to pick a free item out of the celebration brochure. And they have also added some new items, so make sure that you check that out on my online store. Now, there's a couple options for joining my team right now. One of them is that you can pick $175 worth of product and get the mini cut and emboss machine. All of that for $129 and free shipping. So we do have the new color. It came out in the boho blue. Can you see that? The boho blue, or you can get the classic white. And the other option that we have is to pick $175 worth of product for just $99, and again, free shipping with that. So if you'd love to join my team, I have a link listed below. Please go ahead and click that. We'd love to have you. So let's go ahead and get started making today's card. So I am using Rich Razzleberry today as my card base, which measures 8.5 by 5.5, and you're going to score that at 4 1/4. Let's go ahead and fold that. You're going to need a piece for your inside that will be measured basic white, measuring at 4 by 5 1/4. To make your envelope, you're going to need a piece of 6 by 6 designer series paper. Now this is the coordinating paper. I'm using this to create my frame on the outside of the card, and these are coordinating papers that are for free in the celebration, and that is called Dainty Flowers, and that paper is gorgeous. And this is what really got me thinking of how can I give the gift of flowers and a card through the mail. So that's how I really came up with this idea. Plus I have a client that has a birthday this week and I need to get something out. So yeah, it's 6 by 6, 4 by 5 1/4, and then you're going to need a piece of our window sheet that is cut at 2.5 by 3 3/4. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to go ahead and make that envelope. Oh, and you're going to need a packet of seeds. You can buy them by the box, or you can just buy these individual packets, and whatever one you like, annuals, perennials, whatever. In fact, I think I'm going to send my mama a card too. So I'm going to take my 6 by 6 and I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored tool. You all know this is one of my favorite Stampin' Up! Tools. I could not live without my scoreboard, even though we have the cutting. Okay, and this is directional paper, so I want to make sure that when I'm scoring that I have my paper in the right direction, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and then 3 1/4 inches. I'm going to rotate that. I'm going to check and make sure that my paper is directionally correct. This is going to be the top flap that will show in the back of the card, so I want that at the top. And then I'm going to score again at 1/2 inch and then 4 1/2 inches. okay? And then we're just going to fold and burnish, and then we'll do some cutting as well. And I hope the sound is working okay. I filmed this yesterday and my microphone went out, and it went out the week before, so I'm just not going to do that. Okay, so I fold and burnished everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove some parts. Let me see which is the best side. We're going to move this skinny rectangle at the top, and we're going to remove this skinny square at the bottom. Bring in my scissors here, and I am going to just do an angle cut. We want to get rid of that score line completely, and I'm going to do an angle cut on the side. It does not need to be a deep angle cut. And then on this top one, I'm going to cut straight down. Again, making sure that I remove all of that score line. Okay, so you got that. This is what your glue tab is going to be. And this is the flap that we're going to keep. So we're going to cut straight down that. We're going to cut the score line completely away. Okay, I'm going to fold this under, and then we're going to remove this piece completely. And you want to definitely make sure that you remove the entire score line here. In fact, I'm going to use my big scissors on this one. And it is really hard to see where that score line is. Okay, and then I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom piece here. I'm going to remove this tab completely. So again, I will do an angle cut, and then I will remove this tab. Okay. And now we've created our envelope. We're going to add a window into that. So I'm using my stitch rectangle dies, and I'll tell you which ones I'm using. So the one to cut the window in the envelope is approximately 2 by 3 1/4. So it's the 6th largest die. The one that we're going to use to create our frame out of our DSP, that is the 4th largest rectangle, and that measures approximately 2 3/4 by 4 1/8. So what I'm going to do on the piece with the flap and the glue tab at the bottom, I'm just going to line that rectangle up. And I'm going to run it through my die cutting machine, trying to keep it, equal parts all the way around. And that looks pretty good. It's really busy paper, so it's hard to tell. And then I would just bring that in to my die cutting machine. It does fit perfectly. So here's my platform. I have the old style cut and emboss machine still. So it fits perfectly on the platform. It is 6 by 6, so you'll just sandwich that together and run that right through your big shot. And you'll do the same thing with this die here. You're just going to give it a nice equal border all the way around, and you're going to run that through your cut and emboss machine as well. Okay, so I've already done those steps just to speed us up. So I've created the frame here. And I am using our foam adhesive strips. Can you see that? These are located in our annual catalog. And the reason I chose to use these is they are a little deeper than our regular dimensions. So it just gives you a little more height in your card, okay? So I just went all the way around, and I went double strip. I always overdo everything, but this way, it stands away from the envelope, and it also, if you mail this, it won't get squished in the mail. So that's why I did that. On this piece here, I think it looks better when you round the corners. You could angle cut them too. So if you have a corner rounder, now would be the time to come in and round those corners. I know Stampin' Up! Retired ours last year, which made me so sad because that's like one of my main tools when I'm doing 3D crafting. But if you still have one, just go ahead and round those corners. And then we're going to add our window sheet to the back of this. Now you can use liquid glue, or you can use, like I bought this 1/8 inch score tape on Amazon. Feel free to use that as well. Now let me find what I did with my window sheet. So I just cut again. The window sheet is 2.5 by 3 3/4. And we're just going to attach that. And make sure that you do have glue all the way around so your seeds do not fall out, because remember, it is still acting as a shaker card. A shaker card with a sweet little gift. And then I'm just going to put that right over the window. Ooh, Donnie, Donnie, Donnie. Not crooked like I did. Okay. Okay. Make it look harder than it is. And then I always like to take a little micro cloth and just clean off my window sheet so it's nice and clear. Ooh, and I forgot to share one thing with you guys. Goodness. So on your window sheet, it does collect static. So before you glue it down, you'll want to take either just a standard dryer sheet from your laundry room, or if you have the embossing buddy, you can use that as well. And just run it over that dryer sheet. It just removes the static so the seeds won't stick to it, okay? And then I'm going to put my envelope together. So I'm just going to fold this flap and I'm going to put this on the outside. Typically, we would glue it to the inside to make the outside look good. Nobody's going to see the outside. And if you do it this way, you can actually see the seam on the inside, and I did not like that. So that is why I'm using tear and tape. Again, you can use your Stampin' Seal Plus. You can use liquid glue, whatever one you like better. This is our tear and tape. And I have to say, I love our tear and tape. So, okay, so now you've created your pocket. Okay, it folds over well. If you get a issue where this does not fold over well, on this flap here, all you would do is remove a sliver so it would close nice, okay? So we've got our pocket made. We've got our frame made. So now we're going to bring in our card base. And I kind of measured this. I mean, you can come right here and you can draw a line on the inside of here so you know where you're cutting. So you could take your pencil if you wanted to. And you could draw a line so you would know where to cut. Me, however, I kind of measured down. This is between 3/4 and 7/8 down where your frame opening is here from this. So I just came over to my cutting board and I lined this up 3/4. I'm going to go in between 3/4 and 7/8. You could even take it to 7/8, but I'm going to go right there. I'm going to line my blade up here. It's got these marks so you know where your blade is, and I'm going to line it up to my ruler on this side at 1/2 inch. And by going to 1/2 inch, it's going to give me just a little wiggle room for my flap to open and close, and I'm going to cut down to 3 1/2. So from 1/2 inch to 3 1/2. And again, just a little bit of wiggle room so I can move that where I want it to be. Okay, and I cut right over the line. So the next thing is I'm just going to add my seeds. Let's do some forget-me-nots on here. cut that open, and I'm going to pour my seeds right in there. Ooh, these got a lot of seeds. My other ones, I didn't have so many. That might be too many, so I'm going to pour some out. Over here. And there we go. You still want it to shake. Okay, so I've added my flower seeds. And then all I'm going to do is take this flap and slide it through the front of the card. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to pull this envelope up just a little bit. Okay, not that much, but just so the back of the envelope shows just a little tiny bit. Like so. That way the flap opens and closes real easy. Keep my hand there. I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to line it up so it's straight. Like so. And then I'm just going to add some liquid glue to the back of this. So I'm going to hold this tight and then I'm just going to bring in some liquid glue. You could have also already put some tear and tape on the back of that and just pulled off the tear and tape. I did that once and then I didn't have it positioned where I wanted, so I went back to the liquid glue. So I'm just adding glue to the back of that while holding it in place. Okay, and position that right down. Before you hold it too tight, make sure you're where you want it on the back. Your flap still closes. It's a little off center right there. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to hold that down right there till that glue adheres. Like so. I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to close that just with a Velcro dot. You can use a removable glue dot. You can use glue dots. On my other cards, I use these nice big Velcro. Let's see, how big are they? Let me measure real quick. They are about 5/8 of an inch, these ones, and they worked perfectly on the back, but I am out. I don't know what happened to the top of that one, so I'm going to have to use my mini ones. And on that, you may want to use 2. I'm going to try 1 and see how it works, but you may want to use 2 for that. I don't know. And if anybody knows, does the fuzzy side go to the flap that opens or encloses? Or does the less fuzzy side? I don't know. I really don't. Okay, so I'm just going to do that. And then I'm going to close my flap. Whoa! So cool. So cool. Okay, now I'm just going to add my frame, and that is simply removing the adhesive or the backing from the strips. We're getting there. You could even give this as Galentine's gifts for your girlfriends. That would be super neat little inexpensive fun gift to hand out. And then I'm just going to line that right up over my envelope. Okay. Voila. Shaker card created. Yay. And then I'm going to keep it simple on you guys today. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a dragonfly from our Dragonfly Garden stamp set. So I've got the stamp set and I've got the punch for it. It's in our annual catalog. It's great for these kind of cards. So I'm going to bring in my Dragonfly. And even though I use the Rich Razzleberry, I'm stamping the outline in Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp her right up. Okay, now in this stamp set, it does have the wings where you can just stamp the wings right in. So you've got that stamps right there. But I'm just using the Wink of Stella. So the Wink of Stella will add a little bit of glitter and it picks up that color and moves it around. Can you all see what I'm... So that Wink of Stella will actually move that color around for you. Just got to be a little careful so you don't go outside the lines. And if you do, you do. Not a big deal. Okay. So you're going to have a glittery dragonfly. Okay, and I think I'm going to leave his body white this time. Okay, and then I'm just going to punch it out. Like so. And then I'm going to grab some mini dimensionals. I'm just going to use like 2 of them. Go down the center of his body right here. And then I'm going to curl his wings up. I'm just going to kind of bend it right where his body is. If you want them curlier, you can take your bone folder and just like so. And then I'm just going to kind of put them in the corner there. And you can decorate this any way you want. Flowers would be really pretty too. But the paper to me speaks for itself. It's so gorgeous. And then we're just going to finish it off with an inside sentiment. Again, I'm using the Dragonfly Garden. And then I'm going to go ahead and continue using my Blackberry Bliss. And then I'm going to bring in my Fresh Freesia as well. So, may good things grow all year long. Goes pretty good with the flower seeds, right? Now if I can just stamp it straight. I don't have my grid paper. Ah, yeah, that looks good. And then I pulled the cluster of butterflies out of the same stamp set. So we're just using 1 stamp set today. 2 ink colors and our Wink of Stella. And the designer series paper is doing the rest for you. And I'm just going to come down here. And we'll put one up here too. I like. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm going to bring in my massive tape runner, and I want to thank all of you that sent me messages or commented down below that you loved my tape runner, because I catch a lot of heat for this big bad boy. Okay, this is the one we just did. Yes. And then I'm just going to add my sentiment in there, and the card is complete. Now, if you want them to know what kind of flowers you sent them, all I did was I cut this piece out right here and I glued it right to the lid, so they knew what type of flowers they were getting. So if you want to do that, go for it. And here are not a whole lot of variation. So, but here you go. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. If I can be of any assistance or if you need a catalog, please reach out and let me know. Go out there, make it a great week, and happy crafting.